I think I had 22 points in 2 minutes was the moral of the story.
I'm sorry. 22 points in 2 minutes.
When you talk about greats in this game, you know, the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and the Steph Currys, like they are putting her in that category, the Diana Taurasi's.
What if I told you Caitlin Clark once scored 22 points in 2 minutes against a men's team? Not just any men, but the Iowa practice squad. Bigger, stronger players who couldn't stop her from draining logo threes like they were layups. This footage was hidden for 5 years until Clark casually mentioned it to David Letterman. Now we finally get to see what happened when the future WNBA Rookie of the Year decided to take over a scrimmage and leave everyone's jaws on the floor. The craziest part? She talks about this historic performance like it was just another Tuesday practice. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's break down exactly what happened in those 2 minutes that's got everyone talking. The Iowa women's team was down by 15 points against the men's practice squad when Clark decided enough was enough. You know those practice squads aren't just random dudes from campus, right?
I grew up playing with the boys, and my dad was my first ever basketball coach. Before every game, I look at my dad and I give him a nod. He gives me a nod. And then I go out.
These are legitimate basketball players who volunteer their time to make the women's team better. They've got the size, strength, and basketball IQ to create what coaches call a basketball mountain to climb for the women's team. Picture this: a regular practice day at Iowa. The men's practice team is dominating the scrimmage. They're bigger, stronger, and have built up that comfortable 15-point lead. The women's team is struggling to find answers. It's looking rough. Then something clicks for Caitlin Clark. Then Clark flips a switch that nobody saw coming. Her first shot? A casual pull-up from 27 feet, nothing but net. The guys on defense look at each other like, that was lucky. Then she does it again and again. We're not talking about normal three-pointers here. We're talking about shots from distances that would make NBA players hesitate. The footage is insane. She's draining shots from beyond the NBA three-point line like they're layups. Her first one was that pull-up from 27 feet, and then she just starts going deeper, hitting shots from around 33 feet.
It was funny because we had a high school girls basketball team there that day. So we had a little audience, and we were up in our practice gym. And they were like jumping out of their chairs, going crazy. College, I had teammates that were there with me for 4 years and were really comfortable playing with me. And then you come here and you have to learn your teammates in 2 weeks before you step on the court, and that can be really hard.
That's like shooting from another zip code. Each one looks effortless, like she's just taking a free throw. Her form doesn't change whether she's close to the basket or shooting from the logo. One of the practice players actually started laughing in disbelief when she hit her third consecutive logo three. This wasn't just scoring, it was psychological warfare, each shot getting deeper than the last. You can see on the video how the men's team started to realize what was happening. Their body language tells the whole story. Hands thrown up in frustration, heads shaking, exchanging looks that say, "What are you supposed to do?" What makes this even crazier is how the men's team actually increased their defensive pressure. They weren't letting up. They were genuinely trying to stop her and couldn't. They started double teaming her. They put their best defenders on her.
Wow. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's ridiculous. Again.
Let's run that. I think her ability to lead this team as a rookie, she's really starting to step into that role, and I think that's exciting to see as well.
They tried everything in their defensive playbook and nothing worked. Clark was in one of those zones where the basket looks like the ocean. There's a moment where Clark hits a step back three with a defender right in her face, and you can literally see him shaking his head as he runs back on defense. Complete disbelief. You know you're doing something special when you've got your opponents questioning reality. The defensive pressure kept increasing, but so did Clark's confidence. Every shot that dropped just added to the momentum.
Now, Rookie of the Month has only been around since 2010, but she's the first player ever
to win Rookie of the Month and Player of the Month.
Obviously, we see her shooting, we see her passing, we see all that stuff on the floor, but a lot of that comes from a lot of hard work. She's in the gym almost all the time working on her game.
In those 2 minutes, Clark scored 22 points through a mix of logo threes, step backs, and pull-ups that completely erased that 15-point deficit and put the women's team in the lead. This wasn't just a hot streak. This was a complete takeover against bigger, stronger opponents who were genuinely trying to stop her. What's wild is that a high school girls basketball team was visiting that day and witnessed the whole thing. Imagine being those girls watching Clark do this against guys who tower over her. They were absolutely losing their minds with each shot. One of the high school players said, "We were like jumping out of our chairs going crazy." Think about the impact of seeing that as a young female basketball player, watching someone defy the physical advantages and dominate through pure skill. The men's practice players couldn't do anything but shake their heads. Even Clark's teammates seemed shocked by what they were witnessing. This is the kind of performance that builds legends.
Usually I never react when something like I hit a big shot, or like I do, but never in like a shocked way. After like my 5th 3 in a row in like a minute, I was like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't.
Like I said, she's a special player. She commands so much defensive attention. And I think that's one of the things that separates her in terms of winning that Rookie of the Year.
It's one thing to hear about someone dominating in practice, but it's another thing entirely to see the footage and witness how effortless it looked. The most impressive part might be that this performance shows exactly why Clark is such a nightmare to defend. Her range essentially breaks traditional defensive schemes. When someone can consistently hit from 30+ feet with the same accuracy most players have from 15 feet, how do you guard that? You can't sag off because she'll make you pay, but if you press up, she's quick enough to get by you. What we're watching isn't just an amazing highlight reel. It's literal basketball history unfolding.
Some 3-pointers that she makes in this whole thing that is just, I mean, look at that. You want to talk about a logo 3.
I didn't believe it. I was like running around, and we ended up winning, and our boy practice players didn't hear the end of it. They still don't. Like, I still love to bring it up to them. We talk a lot of crap. So.
This footage has completely changed how people view Caitlin's transition to the WNBA, becoming this pivotal moment in her journey. The timing couldn't be better either, dropping right as she's gearing up for season 2. You know what makes Caitlin special? While millions watched her torch that men's practice team, she kept that same humble approach. No bragging, just team-first mentality. That's why fans connect with her so deeply. The perfect mix of jaw-dropping talent and genuine humility. This isn't just basketball footage. It's a cultural phenomenon that's reshaping women's basketball forever.